uncomfortable topic to talk about, especially for a guy, young guys in their early 20s. And, I'm glad that, I could tune in and, listen to you guys.
Spencer Kobren's The Bald Truth.
Hey guys, welcome to the broadcast. Phone number is 888-659-3727. Remember, this is a call-in show, and we're here to talk about hair loss. That's what we do. Joe Tillman, the original hair transplant mentor in Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm the founder of the American Hair Loss Association, author of a few books on the subject. I've been doing this for quite a long time, and we are here just to tell you the truth about this totally effed up industry, to listen to you guys vent about hair loss. This is not Reddit or the message forums or any other resource or platform like that. It's not social media. I guess it is in a sense.
Kind of.
It's on YouTube. But this is a place where you just get the facts. You may not like them. They may not be something that, coincides or coexists with your current information set, but you're going to get the truth. If you're considering surgery, last resort, you're going to get the truth. If you are still microneedling your scalp like an idiot, you're going to get the truth. If you are buying compounded products through telehealth companies, especially products that are promoting themselves to be the cheapest products in the market, we're here to tell you the truth.
If someone advertises a medication that they developed with the sole purpose of being the most affordable medication on the market, turn around, run.
We're here to tell you the truth. Look, this is a very messed up industry. A lot of really just desperate people hustling hair. I don't know how else to say it, Joe.
Well, it's desperate people hustling hair.
That's my hair, by the way, today. I had
people that are desperate for more hair. So it's a perfect match. Your hair looks fantastic.
You're so kind, and I really had trouble with it. Anyway, I don't want to hear from you, Rob Hallner. So listen, yeah, we're all desperate. I'm still desperate. I still read stuff online, like on, these kind of bogus science social media posts. Mm-hmm. Every time there's something new that comes out, I'm like, let me check it. Let me check this out. Is this real? And I'm thinking to myself, I know it's not real. I didn't get any access to it through the American Hair Loss Association, but I still think it's possible. I have hope.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I know even before I see it in my social media that it's not real, or it's not even close to being out there for public consumption or use. Whether it's PP4 or 5. Listen, I had what I thought was a nice conversation with the CEO of the company, Verter, what is the name of the company that's putting out the sustained-release minoxidil, low-dose oral minoxidil. Very interesting guy, young guy. Started this incredible startup, got a lot of venture capital. It's great. I think it's going to be, if it's approved, I think it's going to be great that there's going to be an approved medication, a pill for the first time for women. That's huge. And if this can actually mitigate the potential adverse side effects of low-dose oral minoxidil, that's incredible. And be as effective, that's incredible. But during my conversation, I've said this out loud, so this is no secret. Companies are already contacting me, like freaked out about this. Like, they're already making their plans. They have their hackles up. They're going to start titration programs, all kinds of stuff to help patients mitigate side effects. That's smart. Doesn't mean it's going to work.
No.
But this is what's going to happen. The new drug that's going to be on the market, that's going to be approved by the FDA, hopefully within 2 years or in 2 years, is going to be expensive, or more expensive than low-dose oral minoxidil currently. Has to be. That's just the way it is. It's going to be a brand name. Companies are going to charge for it. Makes total sense. I have no problem with it. But all the competitors are going to be like, look, this is the same stuff at a fraction of the price, and we can show you how to mitigate side effects. And it's been prescribed to patients for decades. So it's all good.
Look, for only $9, we'll send $9 extra. We'll send you a pill cutter, okay, and instructions on how to cut the pill, 17 different pieces, so you can take it every 45 minutes throughout the day.
Yeah,
That's your time release.
But people will do it. And you know what? What's funny is, based on the price. But and there's going to be a lot. I'm telling you, they're already getting their hackles up. They're already starting their marketing plans. Mm-hmm. Look, I had a nice conversation with this guy. I don't know if he's ever going to come back and we're going to have more of a conversation. But I know the reality of this market, and I try to express this to him. And I express it on this program all the time. It'll get a lot of press initially. It'll get a big push. Reddit will kill it. If the narrative isn't created correctly, and if these people don't understand that, hey, it's going to be a lot easier if this works to take this drug safely than take it 12 times a day or whatever the titration method's going to be.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. That's the one thing I think that would get it some credibility from patients considering it versus the titration schedule, whatever Dr. X, Dr. Y puts out there. They'll be like, just take it once.
In the end, I'm telling you, brother, we know it's all marketing. It doesn't make a difference.
It's like, I've had a hard time getting patients to understand the value of cutting a pill into quarters and taking one quarter every other day. Oh, that's too much hassle.
Yeah, but they won't have to cut anything. The beauty about compounding pharmacies, but the beauty about compounding pharmacies is that they are capable of making microdoses if they want to in capsule form.
Yeah.
So, hey, take this microdose 3 times a day, like taking your vitamins. People are going to do it because it's going to be so much cheaper. I get it. But is it going to be as effective as far as mitigating the side effects? It's going to be marketed in that manner. So I'm warning everybody. I even told this company, I'm like, I think it's wonderful that you've been able to raise this much money. But in the end, it's going to be sales. It's going to be marketing. And the best marketer in this space, telehealth marketer, wins.
Yeah.
That's it.
So start lining up your partners in the clinics now, if you haven't already, because that's also a big deal, is getting it in the hands of the clinicians that actually be writing the prescriptions.
Let me tell you something. Some clinicians, like the average dermatologist, may say this is a great new drug, but any dermatologist that is currently prescribing the low-dose Ormanoxidil and their patients are doing well with minimal side effects, they're just going to tell their patients, look, this is cheaper. They're not going to have, unless there's some sort of like illegal incentives. So all I'm saying is this entire industry is screwed. No matter who I talk to, whether it's the telehealth companies who are contacting me who want to be part of the American Hairloss Association Trusted Brand Program, I try to tell them the truth. I try to tell this pharmaceutical company the truth. No one wants to hear the truth. The consumer doesn't want to hear the truth. Some consumers do.
None whatsoever. I don't think so.
What a day. What
a
day.
They don't care. Did you turn the phones on, by the way?
Of course.
Okay.
It's just that, your fans don't want to call in. What am I going to tell you?
I'll tell you one thing that's...
I should do this on Instagram.
That's changing in my routine. I'm actually getting a professional haircut next week. I'm not going to the cheap Chinese, the lady that just buzzes it for $20.
I thought she's a pro.
She's a pro, but she's not like, I can't talk to her, and the little bit of Chinese I know just doesn't quite cross that barrier of being able to explain what I want. And I actually went for a consultation with a stylist. Oh yeah. Yeah. And, I've talked about the one downside of strip surgery that I've experienced over the years is the change in direction of hair growth above the incision line versus below it.
Yes.
And one thing, and that's actually easy to deal with. But the second thing, and I haven't really talked about this before, is the stress that the procedures have caused in that specific area on my scalp over the years has created a disparity in color. And so there's a not a gap, but there's an area along the back of my scalp and slightly up on the sides, not so much on the sides, but mainly in the back, where the hair just below my scar line, because of the way the hair comes down, grows a little bit below that. It's grayer than the rest of the hair above and below. So that also stands out as not a line, because it's maybe wide.
Just admit you want to dye your hair. You don't have to make all these fucking excuses.
Oh, I'm going pink with purple tips. No, but no, I'm actually finally doing something about it. I'm going to do a low light blend in the back and sides of my scalp. She doesn't want to do the top of my scalp. She says the salt and pepper thing is working. It's like, is it salt and pepper? I don't know. Like kind of brown and pepper. It looks more brown in this light. But what's strange is below my scar line, she said my hair is a dark mousy brown, and that's my original hair color. So it's strange. Above the line, it's kind of salt and pepper, a little bit of brown in there, but below it, there's nothing. I'll see if I can show this on camera. Can you see that? Can you see the difference? I don't know if it shows up.
Kind of. I will say though, this is a lesson in how to lose viewers.
Thank you. I'm talking about my personal experience here. Come on, I'm opening up. She told me something very interesting. When I told her my idea, she looked at. She's like 33. She looked at me and she goes, "I think this is in your head. I think you're over analyzing this." And I was like, it's like being on the other side of myself when I'm talking to patients. It was a nice smack in the face. I have to admit, it was a nice wake up call. It's like, okay.
But honestly, I did when I checked out the monitor just now, I did see it for sure. I mean, I definitely see what you're talking about. It doesn't look bad though. It just kind of looks like this guy's graying in an odd way. I mean,
it's an odd guy, odd looking guy graying in an odd way.
But I do too. Way. But like I have an area that's like really white on the side of my head compared to the rest.
But mine's, it being in the position I am where I've had the surgeries, it's like, if I could just get that color a little bit more blended than everything else, then the rest takes care of itself as far as like the linear nature of how the hair color is changed. So we'll see. But I will share it on the show next week.
Well, if you guys want to discuss Joe's hair color with us, give us a call at 888-659-3727, and we will be more than happy to discuss it.
Johnny the Fox. Joe, let's be honest. You just want to turn around to rub in how good your hair transplant looks. No, I didn't. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
But it does look good. It's actually, it's insane. It makes me angry when I see guys post something negative about your hair transplant. I'm like, do you even know what a good hair transplant looks like? This is it. This is a 55-year-old man.
My eyebrows, so 56, thank you.
56-year-old man.
Yeah. Mr. Rolandis, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Man, I'm going to be self-deprecating, but it looks like I have a hair frisbee going on right now. I could not get it straight today. Anyway.
That's good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. My phone number is 888-659-3727. That's also Joe's phone number for the day.
I was going to say, it's like, if you just want to talk to Spencer, then you call that number.
I've had a very interesting week as well. And again, when I come on and I talk about how frustrated I am about the hair loss industry, that's unusual. I mean, it's not unusual for me, but it's unusual for anyone who's new to the program or who just watches people who are talking about hair and all the minutia of hair of the hair growth and all the happy horse shit that's coming out down the pike, and the finasteride news and the dutasteride news and all the normal stuff that. At least this generation for sure really wants to attach themselves to. We're in the industry. So we talk about, at least I do, and you do too, but talk about how frustrating this is and how everyone wants to con you. I am saying everyone. I don't care who they are for the most part. I mean, there's maybe 7 or 8 guys out there, including Tillman, who are doing their best to provide you guys with just the facts. But you have, I mean, I scroll down, I see these guys. I still keep thinking about this guy, poor Harris, who ended up going to one of these hair transplant consultants. And listen, again, I don't want to demonize this guy. He seems like a nice guy, and I think he's trying to do the right thing. But like I said, he just doesn't know what he doesn't know. And I saw him doing another live the other day. And sometimes I stop in, but I decided not to stop in and just watch a little bit. I'm just like, fuck, man. You know, some of the information is reasonable, and some of it's just like, these are young kids. Most of them will never or won't be a hair transplant candidate for years.
Yeah.
You got to tell them that. Now, I do see this guy once in a while. Now that he's involved with one of these telehealth companies. He's promoting drugs more, which I think, you know, medication and more. And he is putting up some examples of guys who have had really great turnarounds with medication only. So he's slowly evolving. I see that evolution. So I think that's good. I think that guy in particular has some hope. But it's still scary. Because these kids are attaching themselves to these new guys on the block who just don't have enough information to provide them with the entire scope, possible pitfalls, and everything they're getting involved in. It's not even their fault. They don't have the information.
They don't have the information. And, you know, for me this week, in the past week and a half, I've also had situations where it's reminding me that, you know, it's just a matter of not having the right information. A friend of mine locally, he's not ready to pull the trigger on a hair transplant. He can't quite afford one, but he's been looking for kind of like a stopgap measure to tide him over till he can afford surgery. And he started looking at S&P, and he called me a week and a half ago and asked me if I knew of this place in town. And of course I didn't, because I don't pay attention. It's like, I'm not going there, but it's like, no, I haven't heard of him. So I offered to go with him to this consultation that he had scheduled. And he's like, of course, yeah, absolutely, come with me. So I went with him, and I sat in on this consultation. And to the technician's credit, he was actually fairly ethical in not encouraging my friend to have this low hairline via SMP that he wanted.
Okay.
And I was impressed by that. But it came down to my favorite question. When the question is asked, you know, how long is this going to last before it fades, and will it ever turn blue? He said, "Oh no, it's, you know, this product's been around for several years, and you know it's got a good reputation, and it's not going to turn color. It will fade after several years, but it's not going to turn color on you." So I asked him, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's good to know. By the way, how long have you been performing this procedure?" He goes, "Oh, 4 years." Okay.
I love that, man. That is always the way to get these guys.
Yeah. And he didn't put 2 and 2 together. And I told my friend I was going to ask that question. And if he said it was less than the amount of time that it takes for it to fade away, and you know that you'll never see any color change, stuff like that, then I won't have to say anything else, and he'll know that it's a big red flag to walk away. And we walked outside later on. He's like, "Man, you weren't kidding." It's like, yeah. So he's decided to hold off S&P and to save up for a proper hair transplant. He has been on medications and all that good stuff. So he's a personal friend of mine that I've been consulting. But there's another case, and this one broke my heart. I just want to share this. It's on Reddit, where I've been engaging more. And this guy wanted to get everyone's opinion about the hair transplant that he had recently gone through with, and he was very clear that he has low expectations, and he's about a Norwood.
Sounds like my love life.
Yeah, he has a Norwood. He's a Norwood 7.5, going on Norwood 10, late 20s, thin donor, low density donor natively, and he received, I don't know, 2,500 grafts to the frontal scalp. And it was a very clear demarcation. It wasn't even blended in with a lower density. It was going back. It was just like, okay, let's stick them here. And there's a blunt wall where they stop. And it's still in the anterior vertex area. It's not even back to the vertex. And he's asking everyone if he can maybe do some body hair or some SMP to blend into the crown and just low density in the crown. And he's not, and he asked the clinic, this is in Montreal, Canada, by the way. He said he asked the clinic if he should start meds, and they said, no, there's nothing left to save, so you don't need to worry about medication.
I've actually heard that from some doctors who we have, at least a little respect for as far as their surgery is concerned.
Yeah. Well,
and that is just, I can't even believe it.
That on this guy, the way that he was, I don't want to say conned, but the way that he was handled, it was one of those cases where it reminds me I'm not jaded against seeing this kind of thing. It broke my heart. I felt terrible for him. And I went online and I dished out the truth. And I said, well, I won't get into what I said. And I wasn't harsh, but I was honest. Because everyone else was like, oh, well, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. And there's a couple of people that were pretty...
You're like, you can't do shit, man.
But it's basically, I said, basically in a nutshell, I said, scratch any ideas of more surgery until you have been to a different doctor, preferably another hair restoration specialist, but a different doctor than the one that did this procedure for you or the clinic that did the procedure for you, and get a second opinion on your medication with the eye on actually getting a prescription. And I said, normally I don't recommend more than one at a time when you're first starting out, like finasteride and oral minoxidil. But in this case, you got nothing to lose.
You need to carpet bomb that shit.
Bomb that shit with oral minoxidil, oral finasteride. I'm not a doctor. This is just my opinion based on experience. Talk to your primary physician about this or a hair restoration specialist. And don't even consider doing anything else for 1 year before you see how this works out. You might get some sort of turnaround. You might get some sort of, at the very least, cessation of your loss so that in the future, this is manageable. But man, it made me sit down. It was like, this one's tough. I hate seeing this.
Well, I had a guy that contacted me through TikTok of all places. And guys, follow me on TikTok. I'm trying to build a following there at Spencer Kobren. And this guy, a very young guy, I think he was in his early 20s. He just came back. He's 3 days post-op, 6,000 grafts. And he asked me, should I be getting on finasteride? My clinic, and that, first of all, after he asked me that, I responded and I said, well, your clinic didn't discuss this with you? And, most legit hair transplant surgeons will suggest you get on medication prior to having surgery, and in the best case scenario, a couple of years or at least a year prior to having surgery. And he writes back, he says, no, they said that it'll cause side effects, and they gave me some natural product.
Fuck's sake.
And the clinic is in Turkey, as a matter of fact. But like you said, the clinic that you were talking about, referring to, is in Montreal.
Yeah. Well, they're everywhere. Yeah. And it's just another reminder that it doesn't need to be Turkey or some third world where they're going to give bad advice on someone. He wasn't a surgical candidate to begin with. Like, no ethical clinic would have taken him on. They would have said, sorry, you're a great candidate for a quality wig. Like not even that, because his donor hair was so thin. There's no wig out there that would, well, I can't say that, but it would be difficult to find a proper.
I saw a guy. I think the handle is, I don't want to screw this up. It's California Hair Replacement or something like that. I have to look it up. And he put a piece on this old dude who had very thin sides, recessed temple points, you know, and I guess it must be like 10% or 20% density.
Okay.
And it just created this veneer of a hairline that he was able to comb back. It looked so good. It completely changed the way this guy looked, you know, and he was thrilled. He was thrilled. So it's possible to make that happen. But, you know, most people who get a hairpiece, they don't want it. They don't want people to see what they're thinking, you know?
Of course. Of course. Of course. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on in their head.
Yeah. Guys, 888-659-3727. We've been on the air for a few minutes, half an hour here. Haven't received a single phone call. Like I say, I'm just going to leave. You know, I love talking to Joe, but I could do that off the air.
Did you make sure the phones are on? That's what I'm saying. That's, you know, I heard the sound. Don't know if it's working.
Oh, it's working.
Saying. Okay. You know, I also wanted to mention, I was going to put this in the...
Thank God we're not on the radio, bro. This would be a disaster.
It would be a disaster, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We're carrying on with the banter quite well.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about
I'm trying to mess with the cameras a little bit since no one's calling in just to see how it looks.
I got an article sent to me by a man at Hair Loss Cure 2020. It's always good to hear from him. I haven't talked to him in a while. I need to have
American Hair Loss Association trusted content provider.
Trusted content creator.
And provider.
He sent me an article about a new robot in China. China. Called the Hero. Sorry. Sorry, it just came out.
You know what? We're past that now.
We are.
Unless you're on Blue Sky, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah. HAIRO, Hero hair transplant robot from China.
Hello.
Fuck. Yes. The Hero AI-powered hair transplant robot is made in China by China's Puncture Robotic. That's the name of the company. And it came out in January of this year. Per a recent article covering this device, Puncture Robotic has already sold about 30 units of the Hero in China. It's now forever ruined for me. Sales expanded after the device received the medical device usage green light from China's National Medical Products Administration. Using 3D imaging and AI, the Hero hair transplant robot can extract up to 18 follicular units per hour. Ultimately, that's pretty fast. Ultimately, this precision-driven robot will cause less extraction-related skin trauma compared to regular human graft extraction. This is, you know, what they're saying. Especially if the human extractors are not very experienced. And this is a quote from something. Compared to traditional manual hair transplants, a first-generation hair transplant robot achieves a 95% accuracy rate in automatic follicle extraction, with each follicle taking less than 2 seconds to extract. That's fast. And extraction precision reaching 0.01 millimeters and depth precision at 0.05 millimeters, unquote. I mean, it goes on, but the cost of this, according to Puncture Robotic co-founder Hey Yundi.
I'm going to have to contact them. I'm like, hey, Yundi.
Yundi.
What's up?
That's some good-looking hero.
Hello.
Artist was priced at between 6 million to 8 million yuan in China, equal to around $840,000.
Oh, my God.
They were getting ripped off. In contrast, the Hero hair transplant robot costs easily about a quarter of this total. For example, $210,000.
That's still insane.
That's still insane.
Yeah.
And why would it cost so much in China?
Doesn't make any sense. It's made in China.
Exactly. Mr. Hay claims that this is the key factor that led artists to exit the Chinese market. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Tariffs may have had something to do with it. Anyway, so they're off to a good start in China. Apparently, they just started selling it this year, and apparently, Artist is still kicking. Venus Concepts sold the Artist's robotic intellectual property, and I guess the supply lines and everything that goes with that, as well as NeoGraft, to a company in South Korea.
Yeah. I'm sure
$20 million.
Yeah. I'm sure that the owners of all the current owners of Artists are thrilled.
Absolutely thrilled.
And I'm sure all the investors, every sucker doctor who invested in that company, I talk about this many times, but they offered me a stock options that would blow your mind as opposed to just taking the cash for, a consulting gig.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'll take the check. And I never forget this guy says to me, well, if you're so confident that this, you keep saying that robotics is the logical endpoint when it comes to FU hair transplants. Why wouldn't you take the stock options? It's, what is it called? The, not the set price. When it goes to an IPO. Anyway, it would have been like tens of millions of dollars. And I'm like, I don't have faith in it. I have faith that I can guide you guys in the best possible direction, provide you with all the information about the consumer, what needs to be done, what things that need to be improved. There's no guarantee you're going to make those changes. And I was right.
Yeah.
And everyone who invested in that company lost their money. I had doctors contacting me up. He's like, I had this one guy, I'm not going to say who it is. He goes, you should take the stock options. I'm like, I don't want the stock options. And this guy invested several $1 million in the company.
Well, he's saying that to reinforce his own investment.
Of course.
Yeah.
Look, if any company that goes to its user, physicians, soliciting investments into the company,
Yep.
That's a red flag, brother.
It's a big red flag. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
we understand you enjoy the product. Why don't you invest?
Yeah, I think robotics can really be a big part of the future of hair transplant surgery, but it may be more like a a humanoid type of robot, which I think would be cool. Put all these mother effers out of business.
What's the?
I will buy a huge building, like a factory-sized building. Have actual consultations where people who are actually patients, like candidates. So we'd be able to afford to turn people away because we're not paying any doctors. We have robots.
I like that. Actually.
Yeah.
Optimus. Yeah. You should. Tesla's bought Optimus. That's the one because they apparently have the dexterity of the hand replicated better than any other robot. So that would be the one.
I'm telling you, we would just hire really well-informed, honest consultants, no commission. You pay them a good, salary, and they're just there to really provide people with the truth and whether or not they're candidates. You're not paying doctors. You're not going to have to pay technicians. It could all be robotic. You could have maybe one human, obviously, to kind of oversee everything.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Dude, right here in California. Don't have to go to Turkey. Don't have to go overseas. I probably get a lot of subsidies from the state here if I'm using robots.
That's true. All right, is no one calling?
No,
People.
dude, I've never experienced this in my entire.
No, we this happened one time before.
Usually, it's like if that ever happened, it was like Joe from Staten Island called in.
I wonder how he's doing.
He's going to call.
Someone
Hello,
asked me that.
Spencer.
Hello, Joe. Hello, Spencer.
Hi, my name is. My name is
Joe from Staten Island.
Yeah,
I like that you still have that on your 360, just in case.
Dude, I haven't changed. This thing is 20 years old. I have stuff on here that would blow your mind. Stuff that I couldn't even use. Stuff that would be considered racist at this point that used to be able to be aired on the radio.
Yeah, I miss the radio days when it's a bit more risque. Can't do that now.
Oh my God, we used to have a lot of fun back in the day.
That was a pretty horrifying experience.
Joe. All right, guys, listen,
Yeah,
I'm not going to, I guess I could go online, I could read about some stuff and then just, wax and vamp for an hour. I'm not going to do it. I only open this mic up to take your calls. I'm not here just to give you hair loss news. I'm not here to talk about the same typical happy horse shit that all you guys want to hear about. I am starting a new YouTube channel. Some of that stuff will be on there. I will be doing interviews with the people that you want to be interviewed. God help me.
Hey, so Hair Loss Cure 2020 is in the room. What's up, man? He says, I called in, it rang 10 times, but no message at the end.
Huh. That's very odd. Give it a shot.
Oh, but it works. It works.
Well, do you hear a dial tone?
Yeah.
Ass wipe?
3727 fuck nut. Let's see.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah. Okay. What's up? And Ann, what's up, man? It rained 10 times. It worked for me.
Yeah, you're going to have to actually just remove this from your channel, by the way. This is just like a test.
Give us a call, man.
All right, guys, listen, I'm going to give out the phone numbers, 888-659-3727. I may end up just going over to Instagram where I get calls, and people appreciate what we do here, or what I do when I do Instagram. I can take Joe with me. People appreciate him, too. All right, this may be him.
Thanks.
Hey, you're on the air. Who's this? Hello?
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, went through this time.
Who is this?
Yeah, I'm in a Starbucks. I just got outside the Starbucks, but I tried
Sounds like-
earlier, and it didn't go through.
Oh, how are you, brother? What's going on?
Oh,
Good. Hey, you didn't read the ending of my message. I went to CNN today. I rarely go there. And guess who's on the homepage?
Who?
this guy.
You are. In an article.
I am?
Yeah, there's a GLP-1 weight loss article on the homepage.
You know, it's funny. I do so many of these things, I don't even... Legal terms. I agree.
Yeah.
I just see like some turmoil happening here with the Venezuelan guy, Maduro.
Yeah, I think it's all the way down. Like, there's an article on GLP-1. I'm not at my computer right now.
All right, I'm doing it. I see Hitler, money.
What's it about?
Do like a Control F for hair. If you have a Control F, I don't know if you have a Mac or.
I have a Mac, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, if I have to scroll all the way down, no one's seeing this shit.
Why some people lose their hair when they're on GLP-1s.
Where'd you see that?
Yeah.
Is that
That's
it?
like an article with intelligent effluvium.
Yeah, I remember speaking to somebody from CNN.
Yeah.
Do a command Spencer.
You know, it's not good when you got to search for this.
Other theories. There may also be other contributing factors in people's hair loss, says Spencer Kobren, founder of the American Hair Loss Association. Although,
there we
quote, much of the hair loss has been reported after starting GLP-1 medications could be temporary telogen effluvium related to rapid weight loss or nutritional stress, unquote. He believes, quote, it is entirely plausible that in those genetically predisposed to androgenetic alopecia, GLP-1s may be triggering its early onset.
I mean, I thought you said that you saw me, like my picture. That's all I care about.
No, I meant this article.
It's also talks about Dr. Aaron Nussbaum. He's commenting about it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but what was crazy? It says in there, I think, it's like 1 out of 8 Americans are taking these drugs now.
Oh, yeah, dude. It is an epidemic, what we're seeing. You know, it's funny because there are people, I wrote this article in 2023 for Dermatology Times. People actually are claiming that I'm making this up for some reason. I'm like, why would I make this up? It doesn't make, I mean, I'm not selling like, Ozempic hair loss cures. You know, this is the reality. When you change any hormonal imbalance or change any hormonal imbalance, even if it's not directly related to testosterone or estrogen initially, but once you change that balance with GLP-1s, it does affect your sex hormones to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
And all these women that are, they're being told that this is just temporary shedding. They're finding out, well, now I'm being diagnosed with chronic telogen effluvium for 4 years. Why is that?
Oops.
Thanks for letting me know about the article. I mean, nobody else did. You're one of my only friends in the field, brother.
Hey, you guys helped me too.
Well, no, I always appreciate you, man. You're always a good guy. I mean, even years before we ever spoke or met, you were just always like, just a nice person. You never said a bad word about us, or I mean, you just
That we know of.
That we know of. You know. But you were just always very just reasonable and measured, and you provided great information, a great website.
Mm-hmm.
You know, more people should know about it. I mean, I know a lot of people do know about it, but I mean, even more people should know about it.
100%.
Yeah, you know, most people want to watch videos these days. So
Why don't you should start doing some videos, man?
100%.
I told you, I want to do something with you when you feel up to it. We can create something that's this hair loss cure 2020. Like we'll do whatever 10-minute segments. Me and you. Listen, I'm a fast learner. Just send me what you want me to talk about. I'll read it. I'll know it in 5 minutes.
He in line.
And then you and I could talk.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous about those things, but I was thinking of I'm in touch with the scientist at Pelage, the original guy.
Yeah.
Dr. Gowrie, like he's pretty cordial with me.
Listen, I had a nice conversation. I had a nice long conversation with him. He never got back to me afterwards to be on to do an interview. Maybe I turned him off for some reason because I told him the truth about the industry. But whatever, he seemed like a really nice guy. Not Pelage, the other guy.
You aren't talking about the Veradermics.
Veradermics,
yeah. Other one.
Yeah, Veradermics.
That's it.
Yeah, but that one is just a minoxidil. But for Pelage, I'm almost like thinking of asking him if I can get in the trials. They start phase 3 next year.
That'd be interesting.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I wonder if you can do me a favor. I've been in touch with him for almost 10 years.
Listen, if you're interested, in this, if you want to eventually just finally get yourself out there on camera, we can do. I could run it. I could have him, you talk about Hair Loss Cure 2020. A lot of people are going to watch this. I'll make shorts of it. We'll put you in the shadows. How's that? We'll change your voice.
No, I was thinking more. So Pelage, the phase 3 trials start next year.
Right. Well, yeah, we could do that.
So I would like just instead of video, I was like at least just like my scalp while they if I can take part in the trials. But I'll email them.
Well, yeah. Listen, once we start talking with him, I'm sure he's going to let you take part in the trials. That's the way it is. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Let's talk.
Yeah. I have to stop dutasteride, though, which I take right now. That'll be.
How's your hair? And guys, we'll take your calls in a second. How's your hair doing, by the way?
If it's like dim lighting, it's reasonable. Where's the hair? It's pretty bad. But my issue is like at least once every 2 weeks or so. It itches like crazy. I hate the inflammation almost as much as the hair loss.
I can imagine.
But that's my mother. My mother has no hair loss, but she has the similar inflammation.
How old are you now?
All the time. So maybe it's just genetics. I'm 46.
Jesus. Well, I mean, you're a lot younger than me, but man, time flies, brother.
Oh yeah, I've been in the hair world for almost as long as Joe. Because I remember him and Poopsie Head very clearly.
Amazing.
Well,
listen, man, you do. It's Anyan. I always pronounce it wrong, I think, but
Anand. Yeah.
Anand. You've done a great job over the years, man. And I just think I'd love to get more people to your site. The problem is the algorithm doesn't like Joe's show here, so we got to get it out there. Instagram's picking up my stuff, so that's good, and that's growing, and TikTok's starting to grow, so that's fun. You know, I mean, it's a pain in the ass, but so we should do more stuff together. That's all I'm saying. I want you to think about it. You know, take some, some beta blockers or something if you're nervous.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
All right. It's always good talking to you. Thanks for letting me see the article. I didn't even know it was out.
Okay.
Oh, you're the best.
Later, guys.
Take care.
Take care, buddy.
Bye. You too.
I hate pronouncing people's names wrong. I've known this guy for years. But anyway, check out Hair Loss Cure 2020, trusted content creator. I mean, if you want to know anything about what's really happening, going on, that's coming down the pike in this field, this guy is he's always written the best articles. He's always been the most consistent. He's done the best research, and he provides some of the best content. Well, actually, in my view, the best content on the internet about future treatments.
No, I love his website, and I've been using it for years as, just as, because I don't follow the research side of things for future treatments. Never have. But if I'm ever curious about it, I go to his website because it is the singular resource for reliable information. It doesn't mean anything's working. He just tells you about studies and what the studies are finding, and different companies that got venture capital investing and things like that. He just keeps people on top of what's going on that side of the industry at large, and I've always appreciated that about him. And yeah, he's been around as long as I have, and he is. I don't know. Like you said, I think he's one of the good guys. And there's someone in the chat room. He says, "I've never heard his voice before. It's like hearing the voice of a legend for the first time." That's funny.
No, he's really, and it's funny. He's so shy, as well. Yeah, I'd love to get him out there more. Let's see who this is. I gotta stop reading about myself. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Yo, Steve from Arizona. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's happening, brother? It sounds like you are like in a gym or some shit going on.
I'm just out.
What?
I'm outside. I'm out and about right now for the next little bit.
All right. Is there a way you can maybe speak into your speaker and get the background noise gone?
What's that? Am I echoing or something?
No, it just sounds like you are in a big crowd and then there's all kinds of noise.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of noise for the next few seconds. But anyways, I'll kind of get into it real quick. So remember last time we were talking about, I think I was still doing the HINS thing,
Oh, yeah.
And I was getting rashes and I was getting a little dizzy and lightheaded. And I chopped it down from their normal dose, which is like, 1.6 or something like that? 1.6 milligrams of finasteride, and I think 5 milligrams of minoxidil. Get a little bit more quiet here for a second. Yeah, and so I was busy. I was calling you guys. One of the times I was listening, and you guys were wanting people to call in, so I was like, well, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
The other guy called. Anyways, so I chopped it down, and everything seemed okay for a little while. I think I was when I talked to you guys maybe a couple months ago, and it's still okay, but I'll tell you, if I'm off a little fucking bit of what I take, which is, if I'm just off a tiny bit, which is taking like a half of that dosage, so like half a pill. Those are like chewable, so I kind of like just bite it off. And I'll take like half a pill every other day. It's okay usually. If I'm off a little bit, like say if I forgot to take it in the morning and I took it, say, 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and then take another one the next morning, I'll start getting a rash, like almost instantly. So
that's weird.
Not that I was going to have them keep sending, shit to me, but I canceled the subscription, and I'll finish off what I have, and I still have some finasteride pills, just regular finasteride. I think I'll probably just go back to, my dermatologist, whatever, and get some finasteride, and just do it that way, and just keep doing what I was doing before, which is just the minoxidil and topical, because it just seems like me taking, 2.5 milligrams now every other day, or 2.5 milligrams a day, essentially. It's not really doing anything. I've been taking it for, I think, about, what has it been about since I called you guys for that first time? Probably about 4 months, 5 months almost. I think almost 5 months. It hasn't done anything different than just taking it topically, if I was getting anything out of that.
And it's giving you a rash.
I've been watching it pretty close. Yeah, outside of getting a rash on my forearms and in my legs and everything else, if I take a little bit too much in a 24-hour span. But it's not that it's bad. It's fine. If I could get the same shake out of it and I didn't have to use that topical shit, which is aggravating to use, I probably would stay on it. But it's just too close. And the thing is, I got to be too right on the money with it. And it's also like more money than it should be for what it is, which isn't the biggest deal, but still, I think the biggest factor with that is definitely the rash. And then the second biggest one is it does drop my blood pressure down. So that's what it was doing. So I let it get out of my system for like about, like a few days, and my blood pressure normalized. And obviously that's why I was getting that like dizziness, that lightheadedness, was because my blood pressure was just a little bit too far down. So, if I had to, bend over and pick something up or squat down, and, sometimes you like half hold your breath when you're doing something or whatever. And I was just getting too lightheaded. So I think it's just not for me. I think other people, it's fine.
But there's a lot of people just like you who have these adverse side effects. You do find that they're having issues with their blood pressure being too low, getting lightheaded, having periorbital edema, having in worst cases having fluid around the heart. What is it called? Pericardio. What is it called? Pericardial
edema.
That's something else. I can't think of it.
Yeah.
And
I know what you're talking about.
But anything else, rashes, all that can happen with any medication.
Yeah. Like my brother's on it, and he started taking like just the Hims deal, even like way before I did. And he's a lot younger. He started noticing a little bit of thinning. I told him, like, dude, I didn't say do the Hims, but I just said, like, I said, if you start noticing just a little bit, you're getting a little bit of, a little bit of a haircut on top without getting a haircut, you might start thinking about it. Don't wait till it gets too late like I did and it starts creeping back on you too.
Okay. Dude, he's on his way out.
Yeah, at that point, you know what I mean? And
hold on, Joe, your phone keeps binging.
Oh, okay.
I keep hearing a beep. But he got it, like, I think, like, right in time. Like, you could, maybe he grew a little bit back, but I haven't looked recently, but, like, it was just, like, maybe when his hair was wet or greasy or he was wearing a hat. And he has long hair like me, too, that he had just a little bit. And that's me noticing. Now, I'm not the normal person. Like, the normal person would have said, oh, this is nothing. And so I think he got it in time, and that's one of the things about being older than every other male in the family is I could tell them, and they either do it or they don't. And he did, which is, it's good. And he hasn't had any side effects. And he takes the whole pill every day like it's nothing, no rashes, no low blood pressure or anything like that. So he's been good with it. I just wasn't. And I'm sure there's probably plenty. I can't be the only one, but I kind of thought I might have something like that because in the old days, if you guys remember, all the old shit from way back when, that Murad crap that you go to the hairdresser or whatever was on TV and it had the little solution you put in your hair too, whatever the hell it was, that stuff, and then other stuff too. When I would take that stuff, I would blow up like a balloon. I mean, literally, like if I took it and I scratched my arm, it would and I was fine for the first 6 months. My body just broke. It said, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. And I was young too. Yeah. And like I'd scratch my arm, it would blow up like a huge hive, like a solid hive. I remember, like I was supposed to be like at a family function or something, and I slept, but I slept on my face. Okay. And I had didn't know what it was at the time, but I was figuring it out pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I woke up, my lips were like a fucking Ronald McDonald. Like they were huge. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude, people pay big
and
bucks
so
for that.
I was like, I'm not going. I'm not making it. And they were like, okay, I get it. It took about 3 or 4 hours for it to kind of go back down, but there was no way. It was like Nutty Professor shit. And it was bad. And so I stopped taking all that. So I wasn't shocked when I was getting rashes. And I mean, shit, if I would have kept taking it and just like, I'm soldiering on, I'm going to take the whole thing, there's no way. It would have been, it would have blown up, and it would have been really, really bad, because it took about 3 days for it to get start at my extremities and start to creep on down. And it was probably going to go everywhere, including unmentionables,
Sure.
So I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I gotta cut this thing loose. And, maybe I would get, more hair. You're probably gonna hear a little movement, but maybe I would get more hair if I did.
Yeah, but you can't live like that, brother.
No, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It does me no good.
I have some weird, underlying, some weird skin issues that come and go. And then recently I've been, dealing with some itching and a little bit of I'd get red or my body would get hot. I'm trying to figure it out. And it's just if you're getting hives and stuff, that's unbearable.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean.
Yeah, it was too much, and itchy like hell too. So there was no way that I could get by, and just they keep pushing through, because it was only 3 or 4 days, and every day it was just getting significantly worse.
Yeah.
And so, and so what I did was I cut it down to that half, and I was like, okay, let's see. After letting it, like I told you guys before, after letting it get out of my system for 3 or 4 days, just letting it get out of my system, kind of letting the hives go down, and then I restarted. And then ever since then, if it hikes up a little bit, just to use the meds, I stopped taking it for that day, that half. And so that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, so that's not for you, brother. You're moving on. You're going back to your regular regimen, and I'm sure you're going to be fine. You got a lot of dogs, a lot of shit happening back there, by the way.
Yeah, I know. There's a dog back here. I'm kind of moving around right now, but I'll get going in a second. But however, that was pretty much it, man. So as far as what I should do from here, I'm not 1,000% sure. I think I should probably just.
Well, you were doing well on your other regimen. You just wanted to see if you can do better, right?
Yeah, I just heard so many people say, hey, I'm on minoxidil oral. I'm getting crazy benefits out of it. And so what I did, I thought, okay, well, I could get some pretty good benefits out of it too. Maybe I'll give it a shot. I wasn't surprised when it happened. I mean, so it wasn't one of those things where it took me a week to kind of figure it out. I figured it out pretty much immediately. It took me a day. At first I thought, because I was doing some remodeling around my house, I thought, okay, well, it's kind of cutting the weeds. Maybe it was a little allergic reaction, and it wasn't. So it didn't work out, but that's okay. I'll just go back to, where it was. As far as the hair, it's okay the way it is. I probably will eventually, like I was saying before, I will eventually do the hair transplant thing. I think.
How old are you now?
I would if I.
You need to make sure, if you decide to go down that route, make sure you find a balance of your medical intake to where you're not getting something that makes people look like you got a disease from the Old Testament just to keep your hair, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, I've been on finasteride for years, and the topical doesn't do anything to me. I don't. It doesn't give me any of that that soft skin or any sort of side effects like that. I could take it as much as I want. I'm not sure if it's giving me much outside of that kind of fluffed up appearance.
56.
What's that?
I said I wish it gave me soft skin. I'm 56 for crying out loud.
I was talking about when you go into the transplant, the skin is not pliable anymore or anything. So it's not really doing that. I've been taking that shit since 2018 actually. Wow. I started with minoxidil. It was the first thing I took. So whatever it's given me, I guess I'll keep taking it. When I'm done with these pills, I probably got another couple of months of the half pills left. Outside of that, yeah, I think I will, but the transplant will be very minimal. It's going to be like mostly in front and to lower the hairline a little bit to frame my face a little better. Probably lower it like some, most people are like, oh, it looks fine. I don't know. I could probably stand to lower it probably. If it lowered, say, I don't know, probably like realistically, if it was like a couple of millimeters, I think that would be good. A lot of people like saying, oh, I need a half an inch lower. It's like, I don't think a lot of times you do.
If it's only a couple of millimeters, do you actually, is it really worthwhile to go through surgery without, knowing that there's no guarantee it'll even do what you want it to do?
I have thought about all that. Is the reason why I haven't done it. It's not really like a money thing. I think the reason why I haven't done it is because
it should never be a money thing. I'm talking about the prospect of it not doing. First off, there's always a chance.
I know. I know what you're talking about. I'm just saying. Yeah.
And for a couple millimeters, is it worth taking that risk?
I don't know. I have to go. I got to keep knocking that idea around.
That balance that you need, and to avoid the biblical skin disease and stuff, and just find the right balance and move on.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think for me the main thing is like I can see kind of where my original, not baby like a little kid hairline, but where my original kind of like younger hairline was. I'm like, man, it's not that far off, And so it would make a difference. Like, for some people, maybe they got bigger facial features and, like, it doesn't make much difference. Hell, they could be bald and it could look good on them, Like, for me, I got kind of smaller facial features, so if I had a little lower hairline and it could, a couple million, could I be a little off on that?
Dude,
I don't know.
A little lower hairline for me would be life-changing. I'd gain 2 points easily. It would change my life.
What I'm talking about,
yeah.
Especially to create, like, kind of how I lost it was, so it wouldn't have been so bad. Kind of how I lost it was, the way I lost it was, how some guys, they lose a little bit, but they keep that kind of like, I don't know how to say it, but kind of like that more like masculine widow's peak. Mm-hmm. Whereas like when I lost it to where it all just went up.
Yeah.
So it's straight across, but it's a little bit too high.
Yeah.
And so if I was able to kind of like get something done like that and pull that off, I think that would do a lot, in the look. And sometimes, just like people say, like, the last 10 pounds is going to make like a huge difference. Like if you're going like diet wise, right? This would probably be like the hair equivalent of that.
I get it. I mean, just a little bit more, would make all the difference in my life.
Just get to that 1 point.
Yeah. And I'm not getting greedy saying, I want my 8th grade Steve hairline all the way the fuck down there where I could barely fit, 2 fingers in between my eyebrows and the hairline. Just a little bit, would make a huge difference, especially the way I wear my hair, which is, pulling it back, right?
Right.
That it would make a huge difference. It doesn't look bad now. That's why it's like that last 10 pounds effect, it would look significantly better. So that is what I want. I do want to do that. I get the risk. And I think if I end up pulling the trigger and it doesn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, hey, you know what? I can live with that.
Steve, it looks like our time is up, and hopefully we see you next week. Hello?
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you. That's a therapy joke.
You're going to cut me off, right? Oh, now it's therapy. You asked me a question, I'm answering it.
That's good, actually. That's good.
We could get into the other stuff if you want to, if you have more time.
Trust me, man.
But as far as the hair stuff goes, that was pretty much it that I was going to chime in on. I know you guys were.
First of all, I appreciate you calling because we were begging for calls. So thank you for doing that. And I'm glad that you still have your other options. I mean, look, there's a good chance you're going to keep what you have. You've done well on medications all this time. surgery is always going to be there, brother. So really think carefully, and keep contacting us until before you pull that trigger, because if it goes wrong, you're fucked.
Yeah, I think I've been busy with a lot of other stuff that would take up my time and the whole recovery process, everything. But I will do some consultations and then leave and then think about it before I do anything. That's kind of like my process anyway. That I never just like go, oh, that's it, I'm done, I'm gonna go do it, and then do it, and then do with one eye open. Like I definitely will get to the point to where it would be one of those decisions I can live with, since I did as much due diligence as I can, maybe even run a couple of names past you guys at the time, whoever I end up going to visit, and then go from there.
All right, brother.
Hopefully it's not too much of a surgery. Yeah.
All right, brother. Listen, good luck. We're here.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks for the call.
No problem.
Take care.
Right,
bye-bye.
You take it easy. All right, bye.
He's in a grocery store. He's in a dog kennel. He's at the airport.
I need to regroup. He's on a motorcycle. Let's see who this is. He's a good guy. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from? Hey, caller. What's up?
Hello.
You got through.
If you hear her voice.
Hello.
There you go. Hello.
Oh, hi. This is Tammy from Chicago.
Hey, Tammy. How are you?
Hey. Hi, guys. I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Can't complain. What's up?
Good. Good. Oh, I was just doing a little, I figured when you said you were looking for callers, I'm like, let me call and just kind of check in.
It's very sweet of you. Thank you.
So, thank you. You guys helped me a lot. So, so I've been doing okay in terms of medications. I started finasteride a good year ago. I'm at 5 milligrams of that, which is what was recommended for me. Mm-hmm. And then I got up to a full tablet, the 2.5 milligrams of minoxidil. I titrated up, like you guys all kind of helped me out with that too. And I didn't go through any big shedding or any side effects. So I'm on a full pill minoxidil as of last month.
That's great.
So all the medicines are in place. And so what I'm noticing, and I like to get the reassurance from you all.
Sure.
Is I'm noticing I do count my hairs. Still, I have, the OCD trauma of hair loss that I think a lot of people have. So I count the hairs that come out. So I know that I'm shedding significantly less since being on the medication. So I think that is probably a good sign,
That's
right?
Great,
that
yeah.
the shedding has gone down.
100%.
Okay. Okay, and then this might sound weird. I don't think I've ever heard any of your callers talk about this, but so I have really bad distance vision, but when I don't have contact lenses in, I can see up really close. So when I'm washing my hair and hairs come out, I sometimes look at them, and so I can see where a part of it was miniaturized, and then I can see the part that's thicker or denser, and then that's where I always look to see where the bulb is. So I can see what I think is some reverse miniaturization.
That's great.
But that would be something. Okay, so those are two things.
You can see that if you're able, to, especially if you look under a microscope. But even with your naked eye, it's possible. Especially since I'm assuming you have long hair.
Yeah, I do. So, okay, so that's good. So those are the things that I'm trying to remind myself that are good things.
Yeah, you sound like you're doing so much better.
Yeah, I feel better, and you guys have helped me a lot in just being on the medicine and knowing that I have, so knowing that I can get a transplant in the temples, which are my weak areas, that it's just not growing back. It's not bald. Even when I went to the doctor, she's it's not bald, but it's thin and it's white, and so it looks really see-through, and the rest of my hair is really dense and thick, and most of it's dark. So my question, I guess, is I'm going to go back and do another scope to see where I'm at in March. So that would be like 6 months on the minoxidil at full dose and a year and a half on the finasteride. And then I have an appointment scheduled to do a transplant in June for the temples.
And this is with Shapiro, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But it will be Dr. Josephitis doing the surgery because Dr. Shapiro was booked out farther, but it sounds like he has really good results as well.
Sure.
What do you all think about that kind of a plan? Like, does that sound decent, or should I wait longer, or what would you advise?
Sometimes it's hard. Listen, these are well-respected physicians. I've never worked directly with Josephitis, but he's been in with Shapiro Medical for a long time. He is known to do good work. They have really good technicians, and it's a good staff. Sometimes I just don't know when it comes to even. I know that you have more of a male pattern, and you're holding your own. But anytime you have surgery, there's always a possibility that things don't work out exactly the way that you want them to. So you just have to be prepared for that. I mean, my whole thing is, if you're able to live your life currently and knowing that you're not going to lose any more hair, that you're reversing your miniaturization, I mean, when you style your hair and live your life, are you able to go out now and feel comfortable?
Well, so I don't like it, but what I can say is everybody else, even my sister, is like, Cam, you cannot tell. Even when I lift it up and I show her, she's like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. Right. So it's me, but I know what my hair was.
That's not to, I get that. I don't want to diminish how you're feeling about it because I understand me, I still get people are like, like I talk about, the quasi comb over and that I wish I had some more hair. I'm 60 years old and people are like, holy cow, you're 60. You got a lot of hair, and I'm like, yeah, I got to blow dry it, hairspray it. You can't touch it when I'm out. It looks in person. It could look crunchy.
I don't swim.
I don't swim. I've turned into a black woman. Once my hair is done, you don't touch it, and I will not swim. But
I got you. I understand.
Yeah,
I do.
That's my life as a man. So.
Yeah.
I get I get exactly what you're saying and how you're feeling.
Sammy, I got an idea about about your situation, but I also have a question which I'll ask when I'm done with what I have to say. I think that when March comes around, you said you'll be on oral minoxidil full dosage for 6 months by then.
Yes.
I think that if you're seeing improvements in those temple points or the temples that you're hoping to have addressed surgically, my idea on that is it might not be the right time to have surgery, because if you're seeing an improvement at 6 months, you might see continued improvement to where surgery will be a moot point.
It's possible, yeah.
Okay. So I understand your game plan, and it's solid. It is, get the medical treatment, make sure you're, reversing the loss or slowing the loss, which you've confirmed is happening. So super proud of you for that. Awesome job. But
thank you.
This is a long-term process, not a short-term. And I look at medication as it shouldn't be looked at as the next step before surgery. I think that it should be looked at as the first step to preventing surgery. And wow, I just came up with that. That's pretty good. TM. But it's true, because if your recovery at 6 months is noticeably improved, then what's to say it's not going to continue for another 6 months and get you to the point where you're like, I am happy with this. I don't need surgery. You're saving yourself the potential downside of surgery, which is multiple potential downsides, and you're able to do it without getting cut. I think that's something you should really consider.
Okay,
well,
I will.
Listen, surgery is always going to be there.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It is. But the other thing to keep in mind, or I need to ask actually, is what kind of surgery are you looking to have? Are you going to be having an FUE or an FUT?
No, it would be an FUT.
Okay.
Yeah, an FUT. And when I saw Dr. Shapiro the last time I was there, and I showed him my temples, it felt good to hear. He's like, "Oh, that's easy to fix," and I was like, "Okay." It just made me feel good.
Yeah.
That it was like not, yeah. So
well,
I'm
sure he's not lying to you. I mean, he's been doing this for a very long time. So,
yeah.
you know, just know that it's just, you know, we just want to make sure that you give yourself every possible chance to avoid surgery if you can.
Yeah.
But you're in a good place, a much better place, and just knowing that you can get it back surgically if you really want to, that's great too.
Yeah, it helps that helps my mental health to just have that in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. But I have another question now that we're talking.
Sure.
So how do you I'm afraid to do anything to my hair, like color it, like I barely will let anybody touch it when it is cut. And my hair is really, it's coarse, it's dense, it's thick, except for at those spots, right? So how do you, Spencer, like you say, you put hairspray and you sculpt, I'm afraid to even lose a single hair, so I won't even touch a hairspray. I just let it and walk out of the house. I guess that's more like a mental health question. How do you get something inside of you to be like, oh, it's okay to do this, put hairspray on or do, it sounds
well,
silly,
I've just been doing it for so long, and the reality is, hairspray, they are chemicals. You're basically lacquering your head. It does get on your scalp as well to some degree. But, in general, unless you're really combing your hair out a lot once it's sprayed and stuff, you're not going to be pulling any hair out. The hairspray is not going to penetrate your scalp, your stratum corneum. It's not going to affect the hair follicles themselves. So, to me, it's basically part of my survival mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So that's why I use it. I would prefer not to if I didn't have to, but that's just the way that it is.
When you say you're afraid to do things to your hair, how often are you washing your hair? Don't mind me asking. I'm
washing it every 5 days, and I don't have an oily scalp. It's and it's not flaky either. So
good.
It just seems to be working. Yeah.
So when you're handling your hair, when you wash it, when you dry it, well, you said you don't dry it, or blow dry it, but when you do you brush your hair?
I comb it with a really wide tooth comb before I go and wash it, and of course I count all the hair. But
it's very there's a very specific reason why I'm asking, and one thing that you need to be aware of is the growth process is you got the anagen, telogen, catagen, the cycle, or anagen, catagen, telogen. The growth cycle that just repeats.
Mm-hmm.
When your hair is going into catagen from anagen, when the follicle is separating from the blood supply, sometimes for it to go into telogen, which means that hair falling out, it's already separated from its blood supply, so it's just sitting in your scalp doing nothing and potentially causing irritation for the scalp because it's starting to see it as a foreign body. Where you have chronic low-grade inflammation, that might be the hairs that you're seeing because you're not being, for lack of a better term, rough enough with your hair to knock out those hairs that would have otherwise knocked out just from normal hair care activities, right? So when you're really careful with your hair, if you're not combing it until you actually wash it every 5 days, you're absolutely going to see hair in your comb or fall out in the sink or whatever. That's a guarantee regardless of your hair loss condition. If you have zero hair loss, so to speak, to begin with, you're still going to see that because those hairs that have gone into catagen and haven't had the chance to just be knocked out normally, that's what you're doing when you're combing. So
Yeah.
There is some merit to the old wives' tale of brushing your hair 100 times a night, or whatever it is to keep it healthy. There's merit to that because you're getting those hairs. You're sending them on their journey, but they're going to keep coming back anyway. Once the cycle is complete as a new anagen hair. So.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I do comb it every day, though. It's not just every 5 days. I comb it.
Right. Well, that's good. But my point.
The only reason I won't.
My point is, don't baby your hair. Okay. If it's going to fall out, it's going to fall out. Nothing you're going to do is going to exacerbate actual hair loss. It's not going to make it worse.
Okay.
You're just brushing your hair every day normally.
Okay.
Nothing special is needed, like these wide gap tooth combs. I mean, just normal hair care is not going to make you bald. And you take that how you want, because I know this is something you're wrestling with, but I just felt the need to explain that.
Yeah, it's trauma.
And Joe, tell that to TikTok, by the way.
Yeah. I'll be doxxed faster than you will. But I say that because on the surgical side of things, I know a lot of patients that are in the same boat where they have surgery and they don't want to touch anything. And what they wind up doing is they wind up causing more harm than good, because they're supposed to exasperate that hair to get it knocked out, during the shedding phase, but they don't touch it. And it sits in there, and the body starts to see all those little hairs stuck in the scalp as foreign bodies, and it creates a low-grade inflammation that can be counterproductive. So that's why I bring that up.
Okay.
Treat your scalp healthily.
Okay. I got to work on that. I got to work up courage for that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there so you can maybe chew on that a bit and come to your own decision what to do.
Let me tell you, walking out of the house looking like this, that's courage, brother. I'm sorry, I called you brother. I'm so used to. Tammy, I'm so used to speaking to guys.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad. I'm really glad that you're doing. I'm really glad to hear that you're doing so well. You've come a long way, and now you have even more options than you thought.
Yeah, and I really appreciate. I always say this, but I really mean it. Like from my heart to yours. It's like you guys really helped me, because I remember not able to even go to work. I didn't want to leave the house. I was really traumatized. So
where are you going now?
I'm thankful for both. Yeah, I'm back at work. I'm a high school counselor, so.
Nice.
All his work has actually been really good. Yeah, so it's been good. And I had the courage to go in with my natural hair, which I didn't ever do in my life, which is, I'm 54, so it's got some gray in there, and it's not how I would prefer to wear it. But it does take, a little bit of courage to just say, hey, I'm just going in and walk out of the house with a wet head and let it dry how it is. And I do my work. Yeah. So that part is all good.
That's great.
Good for you. Super glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Tammy, listen, thanks for the call. Good luck. Okay. And I mean, as you're getting closer, just call us, and tell us how you're doing. All right?
Yeah.
I will. I'll call you guys. And I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Okay. You too. Bye.
Bye.
I'm like, I want to order ice cream.
Hold me.
No, but I do actually. I've been so good. I'm like, shit, man. It's Friday night. It's raining.
Dude, I'm almost at week 3 with intermittent fasting, keto, no alcohol, no sugar. I'm dying.
Yeah, I have an itchy skin thing, and sometimes my skin feels like it's on fire. And I've had this before, and so I eliminate everything from my diet and then try to restart. I stay out of the sun. I'm still itching. So I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get some ice cream.
My scalp that I talked about last week, it's 95% better.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Because if this doesn't get better, I'm just like, I'm going to Switzerland. Because you could just sign up and, rent a hotel room, and they'll euthanize you. That's it.
You can come to Canada for that now.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to have some sort of like real. What?
Yeah, but it's Canada.
It's Canada, and I'd like to see the Alps.
Yeah.
Before it's over.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So, let's take a phone call. We better go soon. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this? Where are you calling from? Hey,
this is Adrian from Melbourne.
Adrian from Melbourne. How are you, brother?
Hello? Joe, yeah, good. I actually thought the show wasn't on. I checked before, and I've just logged on to YouTube, and there you are. So
yeah, I think a lot of people thought it wasn't on.
They still think it's not on.
Okay. Yeah, and they still rang in. But anyway, look, I saw Dr. Bevan Burrell, my dermatologist, about a month ago. We looked at other options to take as a 5AR inhibitor. We actually looked at Brazula, but being kind of a creamy paste, it's too awkward to put on. Plus, it could still, because it blocks testosterone, it could still give side effects. So I just thought, fuck it, and I've gone back on 1 milligram a day of finasteride, and I'm single at the moment, so I'm actually going to just stay on it and just see if my body does adapt to it to some degree. But look, having said that, it's been a month, and downstairs it's all in perfect working order.
That's great. So are you taking is it maybe a different generic, or it's just you're in a different headspace?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just older, and this is the new norm. I don't know. I'm also nearly 60. But I don't know since. But yeah, look, it's been nearly a month, and I've road tested it, so to speak, and
all right.
Yeah, it's working fine. So,
well, congratulations. I got a question for you, though. I got a question. So, with all the body hair that you've had, what was the discussion about that with Dr. Boyer?
He wasn't concerned about that. That's something I've always thought of too, because it's nearly 50% beard / body hair up on my head. But I guess I'll wait and see. I don't know. Look, I guess people take finasteride, and I haven't heard of people complaining of a decrease in body hair in general or beard. I don't know if you felt your beard's
I haven't.
Less than what it was.
Some people claim beard. I've never really seen that personally. I've definitely noticed a decrease in body hair, but it's been so long. It's like there's hair in my hands, and maybe a little bit on my arms, less than when I started, but it's not significant.
Yeah, I've not heard really anything about beard, but definitely body hair. Like some doctors I know personally have said that since they've started taking finasteride, they have less body hair, less back hair, chest hair, like noticeably. And I mean, it's generally understood, anecdotally, that there's a good chance that could happen, and it's why I suspect some of the more frequent body hair practitioners recommend no DHT inhibition. So that's why I'm asking, because it's as far as the industry is concerned, it's the unspoken side effect of finasteride for body hair.
Yeah, right. Well, look, apart from the beard grafts that I used, I think we only used something like 900 chest, and of those, I don't know how many grew in. Anyway,
but here's the reality that I'm pretty sure that in time, the beard hair is taking on the characteristics of the scalp, not necessarily the scalp hair, meaning that it's growing like scalp hair, but it's
longer anagen phase.
Well, yeah, I mean it's basically it has a longer anagen phase. Mm-hmm. In some cases, it does seem to take on some of the visible characteristics, but not in most. But it's just in a different part. It's growing on your scalp now, so maybe it's a different effect.
Yeah, I I'm not aware of seeing any hair fall. Like people talk about sheds and whatnot. I'm not, even in the shower and whatever, I'm not aware of having any sheds or whatnot. I think the anagen growth phase is going well because of the 5 milligrams of oral minoxidil I take.
That's great.
But look, if the body hair does diminish a little, that wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, with the minoxidil, Jesus, like, you know, my arms are like opera gloves with the hair and a little on my back, and the chest is actually increasing length, not just thickness. So, you know, I could knit a scarf or something. It's quite a bit there,
Yeah.
but yeah, no. Otherwise, it's fine. So
Yeah,
so
I
it's not a
think
bad
that's
thing.
interesting. I mean, I hear what Joe's saying, and I've heard that. I've heard rumblings of that, but I've never actually seen it in the wild happen to anybody.
Yeah, right. Look, Joe, I'm going to quickly just send you a pic of my hair now, because I used to just put pomade in it and then comb it back and spray it. And what I'm doing now is I've just let my hair, which is naturally curly, go. And the beard hair really has taken on very similar characteristics to my own scalp hair.
Mm-hmm.
So I now let it grow out curly.
I know why you're saying it. You just want to brag. That's all. That's the only reason you're saying the picture, just so you can brag. You're not fooling me. I know.
That's it. That's the reason I rang in, of course. No. Oh God, how do I move this?
You are getting old, brother.
Spencer, what is it? Hell, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm 59. So basically, I can say next year I'm 60.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, man.
Right
Yeah, I
on.
am now 60, almost 60 and a half.
Yeah.
So in about a month, I'll be able to say in 6 months, I'll be 61.
You can't look at it that way, man. You know, you got to pretend you're in Vietnam or something to try and get through this process of every year just flies.
Dude, my entire life
I don't know,
is a fantasy. It's in my head, everything, you know, good or bad. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. You know, I
Well,
mean,
you
I
gotta
do
look at
get
the
I do
outside.
get whapped in the face with bullshit every once in a while. It can be pretty. Sometimes it's consistent, or a minor health issue, or just annoyance, stuff like that. But I got to say, in general, unless I have all the lights on and I'm completely naked, I feel the same.
Yeah.
So
That's good to know.
yeah,
Thank you for sharing.
yeah,
Without photos.
yeah.
But the other thing too, I'm doing just a short kind of chat podcast with David Anderson next week, and he's a really nice guy.
I don't like that guy. No, of course. He's a trusted content creator of the American Hair Loss Association. He's a good dude. He's one of the few, actually.
Yeah, he's walked a very similar path to me.
He did. He did. I mean, he
because-
wasn't quite as screwed up as you initially because he had
That's
mini
fucked up.
micros.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe, I sent the picture. I don't know if you can see it on your phone or if you've got or not.
Where'd you send it? Instagram?
It's on Instagram. Yeah, just send a message. That was taken
There you
this
go.
week.
View photo. Oh, my God. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's curly. Wow.
So yeah, and it really helps in terms of having beard hair.
The way you reacted, it sounds like he sent you a picture of his junk.
No, that
No, it's just some curly hair. I had no idea it was that
file
curly.
was too big. Yeah, no, that keeps bouncing back. I've got to shrink the file on that one. But yeah. But yeah, so anyway, look, I just wanted to let you know it's been a month on finasteride. I'll ring back in a month or two if I'm still side effect free sexually. So
I'm pretty sure.
well,
I
people
have a
out there-
feeling that you will be.
Also, keep a watch. I mean, obviously, you're going to be watching your hair to see improvements, but you know, just keep us updated on that. Like, I'd like to see how this works out for you. like a more direct
cheers, Joe.
observation of someone that's had a decent amount of beard hair, body hair. Excuse me.
Yeah, okay. I'll take a photo at the same time, once a month or whatever.
Don't let that shit get into your head that Joe just said. You're going to be good. You're fine.
Yeah, no. Look, if I lose some body hair, it's not a bad thing. It's $400 to wax or something. So that's got to be.
And you're not going to lose the body hair that was put on your head. You're good.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not worried about that. The beard, no, that's fine. But look, that's all I really wanted to ring in for. Obviously, want to thank you again, guys. Life's good.
Well, good. Glad to hear that, man.
I'm glad, brother. It's good to hear your voice.
And a great deal of that, Joe, is because you did contact me 8 years ago, I think it was now. So, no, I am eternally a slave, very seriously.
Always my pleasure, my friend. Glad it worked out.
Yeah. We're discussing my caps, my cap collection, if you hadn't, seriously. So, yeah, no, life's good, man. Thank you.
All right, brother.
Well, Joe, you were the first person who did a video of that clinic. And, I mean, you brought that to the attention of the West.
So
people like Carl.
These guys have no idea how much Joe has done for so many clinics. It's unbelievable, really.
Yeah.
It's all about the leads.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's like, they're trying to figure out where the leads are coming from. It's like, you know what? You may never know.
This is true.
I appreciate your acknowledgements. Really do.
All right, man. Look, seriously, thanks again, guys. Thanks for all you do. We don't watch the show because we're bored. We watch it because we look forward to it. Graham does. I do. Everyone in the chat room. I can't believe the show is more watched and whatnot.
Well, you know what? I think we're gonna change that to some degree. Like I said, I'm starting a channel. I'm going to be interviewing the people that people want to see. That's just. And sometimes I'm like, Jesus, I can't believe I have to do this to get more attention for this show, but I'll do it. And hopefully that will then send people to this channel as far as the show is concerned, and more people will watch the live show.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And I've noticed you've got a lot more traction, Spencer, too, with Instagram, which is great.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of plateaued as far as growth, but I mean, it's a lot of followers. I'll tell you that. So I feel good about that. And I've just been a little lazy with the content. I just got to get it out there. But yeah, I think this could be an interesting year. We'll see. Or I could drop dead. I don't know. All right, brother.
All right, man.
Always good talking to you.
Joe, thanks again.
Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye.
We're having problems with the phones. I did order ice cream, by the way. I don't go to the store anymore.
You don't need to.
I just decided, you know what? I will pay that extra money for the convenience. You have to pay for gas anyway. And you go to a grocery store here in California, in Los Angeles, Beverly Hills. Well, actually, I mean, even some of the better ones. But say you go to a Ralph's. I don't sue me, Ralph's, but I'm telling you, especially one around here, I feel like I'm taking my life in my hands.
I'm wary of or leery of ordering something like that because I'll never forget. I ordered one time I was jonesing for a cheeseburger and a chocolate shake, and so
you're gonna ruin this for me, aren't you?
This chick pulls up. I went downstairs to meet her at the front of my building, and she pulls up and she hands me the bag and the cup, and she goes, "I'm really sorry." I'm like, "What do you mean you're sorry?" She goes, "I drank your shake."
No, she didn't.
It's really good. I was like, I couldn't believe what she was telling me. I was like, "I'm sorry, you what?" She goes, I drank your milkshake.
Oh my God.
Like, how does he?
What is
What made
wrong?
you decide to, like, you know, that was my milkshake, right? She goes, yeah, I know. I was just really thirsty. It was like, she goes, it looked really good. It was like, well, they are really good, but it's my shake.
That's
what am I supposed to do for a milkshake?
There's a lot of sick people in this world, brother.
She goes, I'm sorry. And she just drove off.
Dude,
so,
first of all, you never order drinks like that.
Well, how else am I going to get it?
You're not. You don't do it. You know, you got to order. You got to make sure you go to order from restaurants or places where at least stuff is sealed, or the restaurant will put like a seal on the bag.
Well, they do that with those now.
Yeah.
This is like, I don't know, 5 years ago. But anyway, it was one of those things where you just never expect something like that.
Yeah. The fact that she admitted it, I mean, I'm surprised she wasn't like, what?
Yeah, well, see, if she was smart, she'd be like, oh, there's a chocolate shake in the order. Oh, my God.
It was like that guy from that forum who was caught doing porn. And then he wrote all the doctors an email admitting to it. I would have been like, what?
Did he actually? I don't remember that part.
Yeah, he wrote like an apology letter.
Oh man,
that was dumb. That's the forum that Adrian's involved with.
Yeah, that was stupid.
But I'm just like, first of all, when I saw it, I was just like, A, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, and B, when he went around, I think he made phone calls. Actually, I think he called these guys. I could be wrong. Bill, if you're listening to this show, call and let us know. But
that was a dumb move.
But I think he called to apologize to these people.
What is there to apologize for?
I am sorry that I did low end like B and D porn.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry I had fun.
And I'm married and I'm a Christian.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Was he at the time?
I think he was married. I think he was married. I don't know.
Well, he was. I do know that he had a degree in theology.
Yeah. I don't know the whole story except that shit was passed around like wildfire.
Yeah.
I mean, doctors were calling me up to let me know and just laughing. It was dude, it was fucking wild. But what that showed me was these guys could commit, and I'm not likening this to murder, but they could, be accused of murder. And as long as these doctors get leads, they're like, what? What's the big deal? I'm a libertarian.
It's an accusation. It's not a conviction.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah. It's just an accusation.
What do the courts know? What does the Attorney General know anyway?
I'd never forget. It's actually Bob Haber, that fucking guy who, again, he's a good doctor, so I'm not taking that away from him, but he's such a jerk in my opinion. I never forget when he told me that he was a libertarian. He saw that. It was great. It was fucking great, man. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I don't see anything really like, personally wrong with that. Everyone watches pornography.
Keep in mind, you're talking about Bob Haber, who's probably looking at it going, I remember that angle.
But I do think the funniest part of it all, if you remember this, is that people online were saying, that's a Hassan Wong hairline.
I know. That's right. I remember that because you couldn't see his face since there was someone sitting on it. But the hairline,
how fucked up I am.
Hairline I've ever saw.
Fucked up I am. And this guy did a lot of shitty things to me. I felt sorry for the guy. I never forget saying I
did too. That's
really fucked up. And I told Kamala that I'm like, I really feel sorry for him. I know that he's married and all this stuff, and he really fucked up. I'm probably the only guy in the industry, I don't remember talking to you about it, who had no glee over that. And I'm the one that should have.
Well, I mean, if we're going to talk about it, it's like the stupid part of this was the fact that he was using the same name, his same anonymous handle on these websites where he was selling this information. this content that he was using on the hair loss forums.
I don't know if he was selling it or if he was writing like weird, like
Well, he was selling it.
He was writing weird porn fiction stuff.
Well, yeah, he was doing both.
Yeah.
And but he was using the same handle on those boards that he was using on the hair loss forums. So all you had to do was search his name, and that shit would pop up before he started using it.
But what's great about that is, and again, that's why I love this industry. It's just in some respect, this is the only industry that would employ this guy. After that,
well, back then, now, anyone would hire him now. Like,
right?
You did porn. Good for you.
Yeah, it was a different time.
So you have camera experience. You're hired.
Yeah.
You know?
God, what a fucking industry, man. Yeah, I felt sorry for that guy. I don't know what's wrong with me. I never forget talking about it, and everyone was so gleeful. I remember at this meeting, and I didn't even want to discuss it.
Yeah,
it gave me the creeps, and I also felt bad. Like I can't. I mean, this is. Anyway, this is it's a fun talk. Good show, kind of.
It turned into a good show after the first half hour.
Yeah.
So, thanks everyone for calling in. Appreciate the calls.
Just so you know, I mean, it sounds okay, but I do think we're going to have to skip a beat a little bit because we do talk over each other a little bit. There's no, I think, mix minus with this setup.
Okay. We can figure that out.
But the mic works. You look good, and we made it happen.
I just realized that the resolution may not be quite as crisp because I'm on Wi-Fi. I didn't plug in my network cable.
Yeah, it's crisper than I thought it was going to be. All right, guys, listen. Until follow me on Instagram. Come on, at Spencer Kobren. Follow Joe at Joe Tillman Official. Follow me on TikTok as well at Spencer Kobren. Joe, you seem to change your stuff around. So
I think it's Joe Tillman on TikTok, but I don't do anything on TikTok anymore. I might start again sometime, but I don't care enough to actually do so.
TikTok.
All
right, guys. Yeah, and Joe, don't keep the show up. Don't keep the show up on the page. Cut it up or do something with it. All right, guys. Until next time. Be strong. God bless. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good night.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for any inconvenience you may have been put to prior to the program, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if you could now leave by the exits at the rear, that'd be splendid.